The killer, the mass shooter who was exposed to extreme racism and engaged in extreme racism, also wanted to kill Eminem, wanted to purge Machine Gun Kelly, but praised Clarence Thomas. Let's put him up full mass. Hell of a background. So more details are now emerging about the racist ideologies of the murderer who committed the race slaying in Jacksonville at a Dollar General last weekend. According to his manifesto, rap artists like Eminem, Machine Gun Kelly needed to be purged, while Justice Clarence Thomas deserved praise. The white papers were listed in a vile, nearly 30-page manifesto left by Ryan Palmeter, 21, after he shot up a Dollar General in Jacksonville on Saturday with 2 guns, including a swastika-painted AR-15 style rifle, according to excerpts seen by Rolling Stone. So let's put him up. He goes on to refer to the rappers as targets that should be killed on sight, among other horrific details. It says, according to the New York Post, Eminem stared the abyss, being inwardly, and the abyss stared back, becoming and then the N-word again. Palmeter wrote, while also sharing dreams of a race war, walks the edge of the N-word lover, an honorary N-word. Fell off not because his new stuff sucked, but because the lyrics were gay, annoying, liberal-ish. Row for total N-word death is to include Eminem as a valid target, and he is to be killed on sight. There's more. Colson Baker, AKA Machine Gun Kelly, honorable N-word, to be killed on sight like Eminem, because I didn't get a shot at him in Ohio, he wrote. It was not clear when or where he had the apparent close interaction with the star in the Buckeye State. Among the hatred, Palmeter found room for sentiment with this individual, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, as well as terrorist Timothy McVeigh. Inspiration for what would not long after result in 3 innocent deaths. In his hateful spew, Palmeter also praised Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's conservative policies and Timothy McVeigh, the domestic terrorist who killed 168 people in the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995, noting he now lives in our hearts, end quote. Now, obviously this is extreme. Obviously this is racist and racist ideology. But remember, he has been radicalized by individuals in mainstream media, and also mainstream politics. They have made him believe that somehow the conservative ideology is a racist and right ideology. And he decided to start implementing the dreams, the fantasies inside of his mind. Now, he had a mental health issue, at least we know of one a few years back, but he was still able to purchase at least 2 of the weapons legally after it was noted he had this mental health issue. He was held under the Baker's Act in the state of Florida, which said, listen, this individual doesn't need to have access to anybody for at least a number of hours. But why was he still able to purchase weaponry? Well, that's because the same individuals who want to tell you that the most dangerous thing is critical race theory, which isn't even taught. Those are the people who opposed common sense legislation, red flag laws, opportunities to adjust the societal construct based on the reality that presents today. So while, yes, the Constitution provides for the right to bear arms, you also have the right to life. And when those rights conflict, there must be nuance and leadership provided so that progress of this nation can move forward. Jordan, thoughts here?
Yeah, this is just a story we're seeing over and over and over again, unfortunately. A lone white male who, from reports from his father, spent all of his time in his room, lived in his room basically because he failed out of college. What do you think he was doing there? How do you think he was spending his time? I'm sure as the investigation goes on, we will find that he spent time on forums like 4chan and 8chan and other sites like that, where we see these white racist, domestic terrorists interact with each other, learn from each other, share their hatred among one another, and then go out and act because they want to get credibility and recognition from those strangers on the internet. I mean, this is terrible. The people in that community went to that store, that Dollar General, because they lived in a food desert. This was the only resource they had for the most part for necessities, for groceries, for household items. I mean, there are so many layers to this. The way cities are planned and structured, the racist history of that, especially in the South. You have people targeting what little resources marginalized communities, Black Americans have because of their hatred. It's just, there's layers and layers and layers of it. And to your point about gun laws, Florida's had multiple attempts to ban AR-15s since 2018, multiple, that Republicans in the state legislature and ultimately the state Supreme Court rejected. I mean, in 2018, this kid would have been 14, and he wouldn't have had access to guns from then on. But no, they want everyone to have access to these weapons of war, but they're targeting kids' books, they're targeting classrooms, they're targeting teachers. Their priorities are totally inverted, and what happens is innocent people get killed.
That's right. Bad policy kills people. Bad policy kills people. Good policy creates life, preserves it, creates quality of life.